Welcome. You are listening to the Overseas Life Redesign podcast, where you'll hear fun, relaxed, and inspirational interviews with people who are really living the dream. I'm Dawn Fleming, an attorney turned alchemist, and your host for the show, coming to you from the tropical island paradise of Isla Mujeres, Mexico. Listen to conversations with courageous souls who've stepped out of their comfort zone and designed a new way of life. They'll share their experiences, wisdom, and offer practical steps you can take to redesign your life overseas. Listen and you'll believe. If you can dream it, you can achieve it.
I can hardly believe we're at episode 50. Time has gone by so fast, and so much has happened since I kicked off this podcast. And I want to thank you for your support. I know I've gotten amazing feedback from this project, and I can't wait for the next season for this podcast. I have some really exciting things planned. But for episode 50, I thought I would share a Facebook Live talk that I gave in my Claim Your Dream Life community on Facebook. If you like what you hear, definitely want to invite you to join that community. I got to tell you, as I was thinking about today, I really look forward to this chat, and I'm going to be super transparent with you today, as I always really try to be, but sometimes I open up a little bit more than usual, and I'm going to just tell you today was hard. I was really about this close to just saying, I don't really feel like doing my Facebook Live today. I think I'm going to just put a post in the group, hey, my aunt died, and I'm out. And I didn't want to do that because I had really important things that I wanted to share with you today. But also, I know I have, Tom and I spent 2 decades in network marketing, and if any of you have ever been in that business, you know that it's a people business, and we were doing 2 events a week. There was usually a weekly training and a weekly meeting, and we were always showing up. I mean, it's really easy. It's what I teach, that slide edge curve. It's easy to stay home and say, no, I don't really feel like it. I think I'm going to go next week, or I'll go to the training. I'm not going to go to the meeting, whatever it is. But, there was a system that we followed, and it's what we taught, but more importantly, it's what we did to be successful. And so if we wouldn't have done that, you can't really lead people to success if you're not willing to do the things yourself that are required for success. So, and any of you that have had a team before, that have led a team either in business or even a volunteer effort, that you have to walk the talk, right? You can't just say one thing and do something else, because you really don't have credibility when that happens. So here I am, sad about my Aunt Lorna, but really actually quite happy. I did share kind of a little bit. Been thinking about her, and obviously there was some sadness. She's younger than my mother, and I was really sort of kind of down about losing her, and I knew there was a good chance that she wasn't going to make it until I got there to say goodbye. And so I did tell my mother this after this happened. I talked to her the next day. My mom's so awesome. I'm so excited to see my family, and for those of you who haven't been able to do that, I really hope that you're able to do that too. But I was just laying in bed, and I was really, like I said, kind of feeling sad. It's like, oh my gosh, this is my mom's youngest sister. She's not that old, and she just turned 76. And as you know, me talking about aging, I don't believe that that's all that old. And I was just kind of feeling sadness. I was just about to drift off to sleep, and there was this like overwhelming wave of joy. It's hard to explain it. Like celebration. I was like, wow, that's weird. And then all of a sudden, like one by one, I could see my grandmother, and I could see my grandfather, and I could see her husband, and my Uncle Mike, and all these people that had gone before her, and they were all like smiling, and they're like, oh my God, we can't wait to see her. And it was so strange. It was just this really weird sensation. Like nobody really said anything. Like it was energy. I talk about energy. So that's what happened. And so while I am bummed I can't see her, I am really joyful inside to know that she's not suffering anymore. Will be rejoined with the people that love her and all that. So anyway, that's just a little bit about what's going on with me. I'm getting ready to leave Wednesday. I got my COVID test. It's negative, and Tom is leaving on Friday. We've got, this is the first time that we've both left at the same time. One of the things I wanted to talk about is all the noise that's going on in the world right now. I have a dear friend and mentor who, she talked recently in one of her blog posts about how discipline is our greatest asset right now. And Abraham Lincoln said, we will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter, if we lose our freedom, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. And that's what I'm concerned about. We can't do anything about the noise that's going on, right? We can't control when someone we love leaves this earth. All we control is what we have in front of us right now. And what we're having to deal with is really not listening to the noise, right? Really trying to be able to just say, there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of negativity going on. I'm not going to participate. Like that post I put up today. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be a happy individual. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live with it, and I'm not going to worry about what other people think. And so part of that is, what are you buying into when you're listening to the noise? Hopefully you're not. But what we need to really do to get past that fear, right, is to take the time to think in a very reasoned and organized manner, because there's amongst the noise, right? It's chaotic, right? And so you can listen to other people's opinions. I always want to do that, and I always more than we speak. But we don't want to get caught up in that anger. Like, there's so much anger out there in the world, and the fear and the anger, right? It's not just in the United States either. I do want to say that. It's happening globally, right? And so you kind of have to close the door of your mind and don't let that stuff in, right? Don't buy into the us versus them atmosphere that exists right now, because then fear is what is driving that. And if you don't, dumping gasoline on this fear and this anger that's out there. And so you have to really cut through the noise, right, and be able to say, one of the best philosophies that I ever heard was, be in this world but not of it, right? We are not in this world, right? We're not of this world. We're just in it right now. But we are of a divine power that we need to be able to embrace and be able to care for each other as a society, right? Stay balanced. Keep a healthy detachment on what's going in, right? And not attacking other people's behavior, like live and let live, right? Unless they're a danger to you or someone else, why do you care, right? Let's just let everybody be. We don't have to always be judgmental and giving our 2 cents about this, that, and the other thing. There was an interesting post. Somebody just moved to the island. They sold all their belongings. One of our local groups and said, hey, we just moved to the islands. We're meeting in the island. We're meeting a lot of tourists, but we'd really like to meet some locals. And I reached out to them, and I'm like, yeah, great. Come stop by sometime. I told them where we were. And somebody had the audacity, they posted, reeks of privilege. I just shake my head. I'm like, why would you have to do that? And Tom, he's so great. He says, didn't your mother ever teach you, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all? We don't always have to spew. If we don't like something or we don't disagree with someone, we don't always have to, spew venom at them. We can just let it go. Let it roll by like a cloud, right? You don't take a picture of every cloud in the sky, right? We enjoy them and they pass. And the same thing with that. So, because here's the thing, we're all the same as when it all comes down to it, right? We think in such individualized methods, and it ends up being really ugly. I'm from Minnesota, you guys know that. I mean, I've talked about this before. Like, if I'm there in the wintertime and my car is broken down and I'm freezing to death and I'm out in the middle of nowhere and a car comes down the street to help me, am I going to ask them, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Am I going to ask them, what is your religion? No, I need help, right? And they're kind enough to get out of their car and help me. I'm grateful for that. We are two human beings. One human being has a need, the other one has the ability to help. What more do we need to read into that, right? One of the posts I posted, the universe owes you no obligation to make sense, right? We're not here to be comfortable or to be right or to be wrong. We're here to learn, right? To be able to use this world to learn, but don't be dependent upon it, right? And in order to get that inner peace that we all want as, human beings, we have to be able to make our own decisions based on our own wisdom combined with divine wisdom, right? We are part of a human species that is growing and evolving, and eventually, hopefully, will outgrow this ugly, chaotic, fearful, hate-filled phase that we're in, and be able to have a world that is better, right? I believe in that. I'm an eternal optimist, and able to make that invisible world our home, be comfortable in that, because let's face it, our man-made world's in trouble, right? And it is improving. It's not, I do believe there are solutions for all the problems that face us, but we need to solve them together, right? We need to be able to have a kind discourse, to be able to go back and forth and exchange ideas and really flesh out, would this work? Would that work? Without attacking and being so angry. So looking ahead and planning and thinking about the outcomes that we want is really what we need to embrace. So I really encourage you to, and that was kind of the biggest thing I wanted to talk about today, is really embrace that knowing, because the inner you knows that we are in this world, but not of it. And so we have to, if we hang on to that divinity that's within us all, right? That inner peace is there, but it's not going to be found outside. It's never going to be found outside. And that's why I do the workshop that I do, right? If you think you're just going to change locations and be happy, I have bad news for you. You're not going to like it out there any more than you did over here, right? So I hope we can be mindful of that as we go further.
We'll be back in a moment.
Isla Mujeres is a Caribbean jewel off the coast of Cancun. Castilito del Caribe warmly invites you to enjoy our spectacular oceanfront villa located in the heart of El Centro and a short walk to Playa Norte, which is ranked one of the top 10 beaches in the world. With an ocean view of crystal clear turquoise waters overlooking both the Caribbean and Cancun city skyline, we offer a fabulous location for you to enjoy all the peace and tranquility you're looking for on vacation, while also taking in all the excitement the island has to offer, with activities either in walking distance or a golf cart day excursion away. Please visit CastilitoCaribe.com, www.CastilitoCaribe.com. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Is it time to go? Are you starved for adventure and new experiences? Do you feel like you're slowly dying inside, just a little, day by day? Afraid of having to work forever with never enough money to retire or live the life you have always imagined? Life doesn't have to be that way. Instead, imagine waking up in paradise every day saying, "Pinch me, is this real?" Join me in this free live workshop. You'll walk away with your own custom roadmap to a dream life in paradise without breaking the bank. Register for our next free workshop at paradiseroadmap.com.
Welcome back to the Overseas Life Redesign podcast. Thank you so much for being here, and we invite you to subscribe if you like what you hear.
For the second part of this talk today, I'd like to share with you the 5 main reasons why people don't achieve their goals. Reason number 1 is because you were probably never taught how to set goals in the first place. And maybe you were taught a time management system, which is ridiculous because you cannot manage time, you can only manage yourself. So that's probably, that may be reason number 1. Number 2 is most people don't understand, they've never been taught why it is so dang hard to change. Change is not easy. And we human beings are hardwired through evolution to not want to change. And so when you set goals, by definition, that means you're trying to change something, right? And so all this weird stuff kicks in and happens to all of us, no matter how much of a high achiever you are. So that's number 2. Number 3, you may have, believe it or not, you may have set goals, I should say, the goals that you attempted to achieve weren't really what you wanted. You're like, oh, would I really set a goal that I didn't want to achieve? Well, maybe, right? Maybe. So that could be part of it. Number 4, this is huge. The rules have changed and no one told you, right? You're operating under an old set of rules and not what exists today for you to be able to implement the significant changes that you want to make. And number 5, you never learned how powerful you really are. That's the, I think chapter 8 in my book, 8 or 9, is how powerful we really are. And I've gotten deeply into studying this work and will continue to, because I really find it's fascinating and I really feel like this is an area that people really need to have a strong understanding and belief about, because it really is what's going to empower you to be able to do the things, to imagine, to dream bigger. If you don't understand how powerful you are, right, you set little teeny goals or you have little teeny dreams. If you really internalize how powerful you really are, then you're going to be willing to be expansive in that, right? I remember one guy that we used to work with in our first company after I quit practicing law. He was a lawyer, actually, and his mantra is, "You're not thinking big enough." And I've always remembered that. And in fact, just the other day, Tom and I were in Cancun. We took a trip to Cancun, do some shopping. I was talking about some of the things that my gears are spinning, things that I want to accomplish. And I said, when you get back from your fishing trip, I get back from Minnesota, I said, we need to work on our dream board. There's some more things I need to put on my master dream list. And we were talking about one of my big ones is cruising the Rhine River in Germany in September, because little secret, Oktoberfest isn't in October. Oktoberfest in Germany is in September. And that's when the leaves change and all of the big celebrations. So as you know, I like the water. So they have these little riverboat cruises, and there's like cruise ship ones with lots of people and stuff. I said, no, I don't want to do that. Well, because we were talking about getting rid of our boat, right? We're going to be putting our boat up on the market here pretty soon. And so we were talking about being able to charter anywhere in the world and where we would want to go, where we'd want to charter. And so this river cruise came up again. And I said, I think I would like to get a private riverboat with room for about 10 or 12 really cool couples, and just be able to hang out with our friends on like a mini cruise down the Rhine river and be able to stop at these little villages and have these little Oktoberfest celebrations. That just it just is something that I've always wanted to do. Half my family, that whole side, my mom on my mom's side is all German, so I have an affinity for Germany, and I was there once 25 years ago, and it was awesome. So I really can't wait to go back. So, if we don't know how powerful we are, how can we ever have a vision? I mean, if you were thinking little, you might go, oh gosh, boy, that would cost a lot, wouldn't it, to charter a whole boat, right? That would accommodate 20 to 24 people. Like, oh, wouldn't that be? I don't know that I could afford it. Well, if you split it up, right, to 10 or 12 ways. It probably would be more affordable than one of those great big cruise ships that I have no interest in taking, being a part of. So that's why we have to really embrace how powerful we are. And if you, going back to what I was talking about in the beginning, if you get dragged down into the mud, right? What's the old saying? Don't wrestle with the pig. Right? You get dirty and the pig likes it. Stay out of that mess, right? We don't need to go there. We want to take the high road and remember that we're all pretty much the same, and everybody has the same basic needs. They want to be happy. They want to be healthy. They want to be loved. They want to be part of a community of people that cares about them and is vibrant. And so if you take anything away from what I talked about today, I hope it is just do your best. We're in such a volatile time right now. It's really, even the best of us that have practiced these things for a long time, it can really be maddening to kind of see what's going on. So take a deep breath. Meditate. I've really taken some extra steps to meditate and really stay, like I said, stay above the noise, stay out of the fear, stay out of the animosity, and realize that it is our divine spirit that is going to lead us through, and humanity through, this horrible phase, this growing phase that we're in right now. And this too shall pass.
This episode of the Overseas Life Redesign podcast was brought to you by our sponsors. Thanks for tuning in. Did you love this episode of the Overseas Life Redesign podcast? Then please subscribe to our show and leave us a nice review. It's very much appreciated. We invite you to visit paradiseroadmap.com and register for our upcoming free live workshop, How to Retire Overseas on a Shoestring Budget. We'd also love for you to become part of our Live and Earn in Paradise Facebook group. Thanks for listening.